Hey gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something that can change the way you move through life. The warrior mindset. Modern Stoicism for men. This isn't just another self-help talk or a quick motivational hit. This is about building a mental framework that makes you unbreakable, focused, and ready to tackle whatever the world throws at you. We're talking about Stoicism, a philosophy forged in ancient Greece and Rome, but more relevant than ever for men navigating the chaos of the modern world. By the end of this video, you'll understand what Stoicism is, why it's the ultimate toolkit for developing a warrior mindset, and how you can apply it to your life starting today. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's get to work. Let's start with the basics. What is Stoicism? At its core, Stoicism is a practical philosophy that teaches you how to live well by focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. It's not about sitting around pondering the meaning of life. It's about action, discipline, and mental clarity. The Stoics, guys like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, weren't monks hiding in caves. They were men of the world. Marcus was an emperor running an empire. Seneca was a political advisor swimming in Rome's cutthroat elite. Epictetus, a former slave who earned his freedom and taught others how to live with dignity. These men faced real problems, war, betrayal, loss, and they developed a system to stay steady through it all. That's what makes Stoicism so powerful for men today. It's not fluffy theory, it's battle-tested wisdom. So why call this a warrior mindset? Because being a man in today's world feels like stepping into a battlefield every day. You've got societal pressures telling you what a man should be. Provider, protector, stoic but sensitive, ambitious but balanced. You got personal struggles, maybe a job that grinds you down, a relationship that's rocky, or just that nagging sense that you're not living up to your potential. Then there's the noise, social media, politics, endless distractions pulling at your attention. A warrior doesn't just survive this, he thrives in it. Stoicism gives you the mental armor to do that. It teaches you to stay calm under pressure, to act with purpose, and to find meaning even when life feels like a slog. Let's break down the first big idea in Stoicism. Focus on what you can control. This is the foundation of the warrior mindset. The Stoics believe that most of our suffering comes from worrying about things outside our power. Think about it. How often do you stress about stuff you can't change? The economy's tanking, your boss is a jerk, someone cut you off in traffic. Getting mad or anxious doesn't fix those things, it just burns your energy. Epictetus put it bluntly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. A warrior doesn't waste time raging at the storm. He adjusts his sails and keeps moving. Let's make this practical. Say you're stuck in a dead-end job. You can't control the company's decisions, your coworkers' attitudes, or the market. But you can control your effort, your attitude, and your plan to get out. Maybe that means upskilling after hours, networking with better people, or starting a side hustle. The Stoic warrior doesn't complain about the hand he's dealt. He plays it with precision. Start small. Next time you're pissed off about something, ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer's no, let it go. If yes, take action. This one shift can cut half the stress from your life. Now let's talk about emotions. A lot of guys think Stoicism means being a robot, shutting off feelings and acting like nothing bothers you. That's a myth. The Stoics didn't say emotions are bad. They said letting emotions run the show is dangerous. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't have to be ruled by your passions." A warrior feels anger, fear, or sadness. He's human, but he doesn't let those feelings hijack his decisions. Imagine you're in an argument with your partner. Your blood's boiling, and you want to yell something you'll regret. The Stoic move is to pause, breathe, and choose your words deliberately. You're not suppressing your anger, you're mastering it. Here's a real-world example. I know a guy, let's call him Mike. Mike's a father of two, works a high-pressure sales job, and last year his company laid off half his team. He was terrified he'd be next. Instead of panicking or venting on social media, Mike leaned into Stoicism. He focused on what he could control, sharpening his resume, reaching out to contacts, and keeping his performance at work airtight. He also practiced staying calm at home so his kids wouldn't feel his stress. 6 months later, he landed a better job. Mike didn't ignore his fear. He used it as fuel to act with clarity. That's the warrior mindset in action. Let's dig into another Stoic principle, practicing virtue. For the Stoics, living well meant living virtuously, acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. This is huge for men because it gives you a North Star. Society's mixed signals can leave you lost. One day, you're told to be a tough guy. The next, you're supposed to be emotionally vulnerable. Virtue cuts through the noise. It's about being a good man, not just a successful one. Wisdom means making sound decisions. Courage means standing up for what's right, even when it's hard. Justice means treating others fairly. Self-discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Think about how this applies to everyday life. Let's say you're at the gym, and it's leg day. You're tired, your quads are screaming, and you want to skip the last set. Self-discipline is saying, no, I committed to this. Or maybe you see a coworker getting unfairly chewed out by the boss. Courage is speaking up, even if it risks your own standing. These aren't flashy moments. They're the quiet battles that shape who you are. The warrior mindset isn't about slaying dragons. It's about winning the small fights every day. Let's talk about courage specifically, because it's a trait every man wants to embody. Stoic courage isn't just about physical bravery, though that's part of it. It's about moral courage, doing the right thing when it's uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius said, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Simple but brutal to live by. Imagine you're at a bar, and your buddies are pressuring you to join in on some shady behavior. Maybe cheating on your girl or picking a fight. The easy path is going along to fit in. The warrior path is saying, nah, I'm good, and walking away. That takes guts. Courage also means facing your own weaknesses. A lot of guys avoid looking in the mirror. Not the physical one, but the mental one. It's hard to admit you're slacking on your goals, neglecting your health, or letting resentment fester. Stoicism demands you confront those truths. Try this. Tonight, sit down with a notebook and write one thing you know you're avoiding. Maybe it's a tough conversation with your dad, or the fact that you're 20 pounds overweight. Then write one step you'll take to fix it. That's courage. It's not sexy, but it's real. Now let's pivot to self-discipline, because without it, none of this works. Seneca said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Modern life is a minefield of distractions, endless notifications, binge-worthy shows, cheap dopamine hits from scrolling. A warrior doesn't let those things own him. Self-discipline is about building systems to stay on track. For example, if you want to get fit, don't rely on motivation. Set a non-negotiable gym time, lay out your workout clothes the night before, and show up even when you're not feeling it. That's how you build a habit. I'll share a personal story. A couple of years ago, I was struggling to stay consistent with my work. I'd get sucked into emails or YouTube rabbit holes, and by the end of the day, I'd done nothing meaningful. I started practicing a Stoic-inspired routine. Every morning, I'd write down my top 3 priorities for the day and block off time to focus on them. No phone, no distractions, just work. It wasn't easy at first, but over time it became second nature. Now I get more done in a morning than I used to in a week. That's the power of discipline. Let's touch on justice, because being a man isn't just about personal strength. It's about how you treat others. Stoicism teaches that we're all part of a bigger whole. Marcus Aurelius wrote, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. This means your actions ripple outward. If you're a father, your kids watch how you treat their mom. If you're a leader at work, your team takes cues from your integrity. Justice is about doing right by people, even when it doesn't benefit you directly. It's tipping the waiter well, owning up to a mistake, or standing by a friend who's going through hell. Here's an example. I know a guy named Tom who runs a small business. Last year, one of his employees messed up a big client order. It cost Tom thousands to fix. The easy move would have been to fire the guy or dock his pay. Instead, Tom sat him down, explained what went wrong, and gave him a chance to make it right. That employee is now one of Tom's best workers. That's justice, not punishment, but fairness. A warrior doesn't just swing a sword, he builds trust. Let's shift gears to another Stoic practice, embracing discomfort. The Stoics were big on this. They deliberately put themselves in tough situations, cold baths, fasting, sleeping on the floor, to train their resilience. Why? Because life is unpredictable, and comfort makes you soft. As a man, you need to be ready for the unexpected, a financial hit, a health scare, a family crisis. Practicing discomfort prepares you for those moments. It's like mental weightlifting. In a world filled with distractions and uncertainties, you don't have to go full monk to do this. Start small. Take a cold shower tomorrow morning. It sucks for 30 seconds, then you feel invincible. Or skip a meal once a week to practice hunger, or try a day without your phone. These aren't just stunts, they rewire your brain to handle adversity. I started doing cold showers last year, and at first, I dreaded them. Now they're my favorite part of the day. They remind me I can handle anything. That's the warrior mindset. You don't run from pain, you lean into it. Let's talk about death, because the Stoics were obsessed with it. Not in a morbid way, but as a way to live better. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Heavy, right? But it's liberating. Thinking about death sharpens your focus. It's a reminder that time's finite. So don't waste it on petty grudges or meaningless distractions. As a man, you've got a legacy to build. Whether it's a family, a career, or a mark on the world. Memento mori, remember you will die, is a call to action. Here's how to use this. Next time you're stressing about something small, like a rude comment or a bad day at work, ask yourself, will this matter in a year, in 10 years, when I'm gone? On 9 times out of 10, the answer's no. That perspective frees you to focus on what's real, your purpose, your people, your growth. A warrior doesn't sweat the small stuff because he's got bigger battles to fight. Let's dive into purpose, because every man needs one. Stoicism isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. The Stoics believed we're here to contribute to the world, to use our talents for something bigger than ourselves. This is where a lot of guys get stuck. Maybe you're grinding at a job you hate, or you feel like you're just going through the motions. That's not living. That's existing. A warrior has a mission. Finding your purpose isn't some mystical quest. Start by asking, what am I good at? What do I care about? How can I help others? Maybe you're a mechanic who loves fixing things. Your purpose could be teaching kids in your community how to work with their hands. Or maybe you're a desk jockey with a knack for writing. Start a blog that cuts through the noise. The point is, purpose doesn't have to be grandiose, it just has to matter to you. I'll give you an example. My buddy Dave was a corporate guy, miserable in a cubicle. He started volunteering at a local youth center on weekends, teaching teens how to code. It wasn't his job, but it lit him up. Over time, he turned that into a nonprofit that's now helping hundreds of kids. Dave found his purpose by doing something he was good at for others. That's stoic as hell, using your strengths to serve the hive. Let's talk about relationships, because no man is an island. Stoicism emphasizes our duty to others, whether it's family, friends, or community. As a man, you're often expected to be the rock, the one who holds it together when things get tough. That's a heavy load, but Stoicism equips you to carry it. It's about showing up consistently, listening without judgment, and acting with integrity. If you're a husband, it's being present for your wife, not just physically but emotionally. If you're a father, it's teaching your kids how to navigate life's storms. Here's a practical tip. Practice active listening. Next time someone's talking to you, your buddy, your kid, your partner, put your phone down and really hear them. Don't interrupt. Don't plan your response. Just listen. It's harder than it sounds, but it builds trust like nothing else. A warrior doesn't just protect with his fists, he protects with his presence. Let's address failure, because every man deals with it. The Stoics saw failure as a teacher, not a death sentence. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you bomb a presentation, lose a job, or tank a relationship, it feels like the end of the world, but it's not. It's feedback. A warrior doesn't hide from failure. He dissects it, learns from it, and comes back stronger. I'll share a story. A few years back, I launched a side project, a fitness app. I poured months into it, convinced it'd be a hit. It flopped. Hardly anyone downloaded it, and I lost a chunk of savings. At first, I was crushed. Then I took a stoic approach. I analyzed what went wrong. Turns out I didn't understand my audience, and my marketing was garbage. That failure taught me more about business than any course. Now I'm working on a new project, and I'm light years ahead because of those lessons. Failure isn't the enemy. Giving up is. Let's talk about gratitude, because it's a game changer. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining losing what they had to appreciate it more. Sounds grim, but it's powerful. Think about your life without your health, your family, or your home. Suddenly your problems don't seem so bad. Gratitude isn't just feeling warm fuzzies. It's a mental reset. It keeps you grounded when life's good and hopeful when life's rough. Try this. Every night write down 3 things you're grateful for. Could be your morning coffee, a text from a friend, or just the fact that you're breathing. I've been doing this for a year, and it's like armor against bad days. A warrior doesn't take life for granted. He savors it. Let's wrap up with how to start living this mindset today. Stoicism isn't about reading a book and calling it done. It's a practice. Here's a simple plan. First, every morning, spend 5 minutes reflecting. Ask yourself, what's in my control today? What virtues will I practice? Second, when something stresses you out, pause and ask, can I change this? If yes, act. If no, let it go. Third, pick one area of your life, fitness, work, relationships, and apply discipline. Set a goal, make a plan, and stick to it. Finally, end your day with gratitude. Write down what went well and what you're thankful for. This isn't easy. Building a warrior mindset takes time, and you'll stumble. That's okay. The Stoics weren't perfect either. Marcus Aurelius wrote about his own struggles, anger, doubt, distraction. What made him a warrior was that he kept showing up. You can too. The world needs men who are steady, principled, and purposeful. Not loud chest-thumping alphas, but quiet, resolute warriors who do the right thing, day in and day out. So, gentlemen, that's the warrior mindset. It's not about being the toughest guy in the room. It's about being the best man you can be. Stoicism gives you the tools, control, virtue, discipline, gratitude to make that happen. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how it transforms your life. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with a brother who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below. What's one Stoic principle you're going to apply today? Let's build this mindset together. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep fighting the good fight.